In August 1973, in the small village of Lofelt in northern Sweden, an event occurred that still sends shivers down the spines of locals. At first glance, it was an ordinary summer. Children played outside, the elderly chatted on porches, and tourists arrived hoping to enjoy the peace and beauty of the northern wilderness. But one family, who had traveled from Stockholm for a vacation, never returned home. The Gustafsson family. Father Carl, Mother Ingrid, and their 14-year-old daughter Lisa rented a cozy lakeside cabin surrounded by dense forest. Locals considered the cabin picturesque, but avoided it as rumors circulated about strange occurrences there. No one could precisely explain the nature of these rumors, but they spoke of odd noises at night and instances when the lights in the house would suddenly go out without reason. The family settled into the cabin and spent a few days there. Lisa wrote in her diary that she felt happier than ever. However, on the fourth night, strange noises began emanating from a neighboring area. Carl decided it was just forest animals and shut the windows to avoid disturbance. But the next night, the noises grew louder and sounded like knocking on the door. Ingrid claimed to have seen a shadow by the window, but when Carl went out to check, no one was there. On the fifth day, Carl went to a nearby village for groceries, leaving Ingrid and Lisa at home. When he returned, he found the door locked from the inside, but no one answered his knocking. Carl decided to climb in through a window. What he saw left him frozen in fear. Their dog was standing in the living room, quietly growling at an empty corner. Lisa and Ingrid were missing, and water and mud were splattered across the floor, as if someone had walked through the house in wet boots. Carl immediately called the police. The officers who arrived found no signs of struggle or any clues that could explain the disappearance. However, local detective Anders Lundqvist noticed a strange smell in the house, a mixture of damp earth and something rotten. It was later discovered that the lake area had once been the site of an old mining settlement, abandoned in the early 20th century due to numerous accidents. Some said that not all the miners had made it out of the collapsed shafts. The next day, local residents organized a search party. They combed the forest and the lake bed but found no traces. However, one volunteer noticed strange footprints on the shore. They appeared human, but with unnaturally long toes. Nearby, pieces of wet moss lay scattered on the ground. In the days that followed, Carl began hearing faint crying and whispers at night coming from the forest. He claimed to have seen a figure resembling his daughter by the lake, but when he ran closer, it vanished. Carl insisted that something supernatural was responsible for the disappearance, but the police dismissed it as stress and declined to continue the search. A few weeks later, the cabin was deemed uninhabitable. Unable to bear the horror and grief, Carl left Lofelt. However, a year later, his body was found in the same cabin. In his hand was Lisa's diary, with strange words written on the last page. "He comes from the water when it's dark. He calls us by name." Today, the lakeside cabin remains abandoned. Locals claim that sometimes at night, lights can be seen in the house, even though there is no electricity. Some say they've heard children's laughter or seen a woman's silhouette in the window. The story of the Gustafsson family remains unsolved, and anyone visiting Lofelt hears the same warning from the elders: stay away from that house. Something that took them still lives there.